Hi, and welcome back to Project 900. Today, we're going to get into the art of prompting. We're going to go deeper into the logic of prompting, into why you need to do better, more detailed prompts, and sort of how to continue to think about AI, how we collaborate with it, how it's our super smart intern, like we've talked about before, and how we're going to leverage the work of that intern to do good in the world. So join me today. If you haven't already, join thegoodcollective.us to collaborate with the community, to share knowledge, to get prompts in the prompt library that I'm creating there, all the free stuff, all the materials, everything I'm creating, this coursework, everything is in thegoodcollective.us. Go join for free so you can be a part and connect with the community there. So with that said, let's get started. The art of prompting, how to get better results from AI. And we've already gotten good results so far, I hope. And now we're going to get even better results. So let's get going. All right, why prompting matters. So going back to the conversation about how AI is your super smart intern. That's why it matters. Like imagine someone just got hired at your organization and you need them to complete a task, but they don't have really any information. They don't know anything about your organization. They don't know your mission. They don't know your vision. They don't know your history. They don't know who the founders are. They don't know who the board is. They don't know what the programs are and what they do. And they need to work and they need to be able to create things. And so they've got to have a lot of context, a lot of background, a lot of information in order to create things to the level that you need for them to be created. And so that's why prompting matters. Prompting is where you give the AI the level of context that it needs in order to complete the task that you have for it. And the more context you can give it, the better the results will be. And I'm going to get into some pretty deep prompts here and give you some framework to think about, but that's kind of why we're thinking about it this way. So moving on to our next slide here. Formula number one, role plus task plus context plus constraints. Okay, so role. Give the AI a specific professional identity to assume. Tell the AI, you're a professional nonprofit marketer, or you are a college level professor that teaches AI to nonprofits, or you are a professional copywriter that loves brevity and writes for this audience. So give it a role. Next, give it a task. Clearly define what you want the AI to create, a task, or you could also call it a goal. So you're going to draft the first round copy of our newsletter, and it should include, and that's your context, it should include information about the next upcoming event and this volunteer spotlight and this nonprofit spotlight and all these other things, this board member spotlight, whatever it is. Give it the task, tell it the goal, give it the context, all the information it needs to complete the task, and then give it the constraints. And in ChatGPT, one of my first constraints is don't use emojis, because man, if you let it go, it's going to use emojis like nobody's business. So constraint number one is just don't use emojis. Write in a casual, friendly manner, be precise, be brief, like give it all of the constraints that you need. And so this is an example: act as a nonprofit communications manager, write a 3-sentence Facebook post for our fall fundraiser, make it inspiring in under 75 words. Now, here's the thing that's missing from this example, and I couldn't give you a big, long example here, so I'm taking this opportunity to tell you. The thing that's missing is a 3-sentence Facebook post about our fall fundraiser, but notice that there's no information about the fall fundraiser mentioned, and there should be. That's the context. There should be a ton of information about the fall fundraiser mentioned right there before you say make it inspiring and under 75 words. That's the constraints part. So that particular prompt misses the context part, which I would argue is actually the most important part. So make sure you're giving your prompts enough context, giving the AI enough context to do what it is that you're asking for it to do. Let's look at our next prompt here. So next formula, goal plus audience plus style. All right, goal. Clearly articulate. There's something funny about messing that word up. What you're trying to accomplish with the content. What's the goal? You're trying to get them to sign up for the event. You're trying to get them to sign up for your newsletter. You're trying to get them to donate. What's the goal? And then who's the audience? Specify exactly who will be reading and engaging with the content. Who are you writing this to? Is it to donors? Is it to students? Is it to first graders or kindergartners? Who are you writing this to? And then style. Define the tone, the voice, the writing style that will resonate best. So start with the goal. We want this. Give it a lot of context. That's where you put your context in this one. Goal with lots of context. Audience. Give them all the audience information. And then style. What kind of style? What kind of tone? What kind of voice? What kind of writing style is going to resonate best with that audience? Help me draft a thank you email for monthly donors. Audience is warm and loyal. Keep it heartfelt and brief. Okay, so that's formula number 2. Let's look at formula number 3. We're going to get into some depth here. Multi-step formula plus clarifying questions. This is the magic. This is the magic right here. So complex prompts help AI fully understand the scope of what you need, bringing it down to large tasks, breaking down large tasks into discrete steps improves results. Okay, so I'm going to show you the prompt that I use to create these lessons. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, and then you can create prompts kind of in the same methodology if you so desire. So here's the prompt that I create. This is the Project 900 lesson planning prompt. So it starts off, you are a professional educator with expertise in AI. Your mission is to make complex concepts easy to understand for nonprofit professionals, whether they're completely new to AI or already using it daily. For this prompt, this week equals week 4. And so that's important. I'm kind of creating a variable there so that later on when it says this week, it knows I mean week 4, and it's going to refer back, because I'm using a ChatGPT project for this, it's going to refer back to my overview of the entire coursework. So it's going to know what should happen in week 4 based on that. Okay, so that's important. Step 1, review and clarify. So review all the documents, review everything outlined for this week, ask clarifying questions of anything, suggest any changes that could improve the structure, flow, or clarity for the lesson. And then this is important right here, stop and wait for my feedback before proceeding. And so what that will do is that will allow the AI to sort of consume all of the information and then sort of spit back out to me, hey, I've got questions about this, and this, and have you thought about this, and this? Then I go through and answer all of those questions, and then then it'll go into step 2, draft the course materials. So lesson title, short description, detailed lesson outline, simplified talking points for the lesson outline that I can use for creating these videos. I don't really use them, but I do find them helpful to read over before I record. Simplify talking points, full written lesson. So it writes out the full lesson. They can go on Substack, and a slideshow overview. And that's what I use to make my slides in Gamma.app. And so context and constraints. And notice, like, I gave it a lot of details there, like a lot of information. This is exactly what I want. Context and constraints. Avoid jargon. I hate jargon. Avoid jargon. Always avoid jargon. Buzzwords, overly complex language. Use plain conversational English. Avoid using caps, emojis, heavy punctuation. Be bold and intriguing without resorting to clickbait or sensationalism. That's important. And your goal is to spark genuine curiosity and emotional resonance, not to manipulate or mislead. And when you're ready, ask from the lesson outline if I haven't already provided it, and go. And it goes, and man, it is magical. And that's the kind of prompt that can make a huge impact on what kind of results you get. And I showed this in the last lesson sort of briefly, showing how it did week 4, but man, the results for this are amazing, and it does such a great job. So going back over here. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about iteration. We talked about this last week. I'm bringing it back up because I think it's that important. We're typically, the way we use technology, like iterate, this is different, right? Usually how we use technology is we input some stuff, technology spits something out, and then that's what we use. AI is not like that. Like, you don't want to use AI like that. You want to use AI like a collaborative team member, just like we've talked about many times on these lessons. And so because you want to be collaborative with them, with it, you need to think iteratively and create iteratively throughout the process. And so you need to start with, write a donation appeal for an animal shelter, give it a bunch of context, give it a much more defined prompt than that, but I can only fit so much on a slide. So give it a deep prompt, like we talked about, and then refine. Oh, read it. Okay, it's fine. Make it more upbeat, focus on success stories and maybe give it a success story to add in, right? So then it'll rewrite everything. It'll be more upbeat. It'll focus on success stories. It'll write the story that you just gave it. And then, okay, you look at that. Great, that's fine. Now add a call to action. That's a CTA for marketing terms, call to action. Now add a call to action asking for $25 a month donations. And then you're going to have a fantastic piece of content that has a lot of content, a lot of copy, a lot of good content. It has a success story in it, and it has a great call to action. And because you've gone back and forth with the AI, you've now created something that has much more value than if it just spit it out and you copied and you pasted and you used it from there. AI rarely gets it right on the first try. You don't want to assume that it's going to get it right on the first try. That's the beauty of it. You want to work with it. You want to massage it to get it to where it needs to go. All right. Ask AI to ask you. I said this in the last lesson. I'm saying it again. Ask AI to ask you what, and like create your prompt. And at the end of your prompt, say, review this and ask me questions and make suggestions. And you will be shocked what it will come up with. It will ask you such good questions that you should have thought of and did not think of. It will make suggestions that you should have thought of and did not think of. And it will improve the results dramatically. So you've got to ask AI to ask you questions. That is absolutely critical if you want success in prompting. All right. So some more prompt use cases for nonprofits. I mean, I'm going to work on creating prompts for a lot of these, and I'm going to put these prompts in the goodcollective.us. And so if you're not already there, please go sign up. I'm going to keep harping on that. Sign up for the goodcollective.us. It's free. That's where I'm going to that's where I'm going to create my prompt library. That's where everything's going to go, all the materials, all the lessons, everything. So just a few prompt use cases for nonprofits: communications, social media posts, email newsletters, press release headlines, though press releases are kind of outdated. I don't know that I would do them necessarily. Just saying. Blog post outlines, full blog posts. Like you can have it write the first draft of your blog post and then go in and edit it and make it better, but it will do an amazing job. Fundraising, donation appeals, donor thank you notes, grant application language. Load in the grant application criteria and have it spit out an application that refers to the criteria in the grant application, and have a very detailed prompt for doing that. Like spend 30 minutes writing a killer prompt, setting up your AI for success, and then do it. Like then run it and see what the results are. It's going to be amazing. Campaign narratives, and then event descriptions, speaker introductions. AI is amazing for speaker introductions. And let me just tell you, like, I just got to say this, like a little soapbox here. Speaker introductions tend to be way too long. So make them shorter. Make AI, use AI to do a great job. Input all the idea or all the content. Talk to your speaker. Have a really deep, long conversation with your speaker if you want to pre-speaking, pre-event, and then take all of that information and dump that into AI and say, hey, write a 30-second intro. And it can do that, and it will be amazing. So that's my soapbox there. I'll leave it alone. Speaker introductions, follow-up messaging, volunteer recruitment. I mean, use the formulas as building blocks and combine them for different scenarios to maximize effectiveness. Like there's so many different prompts you can use. And what you're going to want to do, and what we'll be talking about in future lessons, is creating your own prompt library that you can go back to over and over and over again and use for a variety of different things. So everything from blog editing to donor thank you letter writing to volunteer recruitment emails to marketing campaign creation and ideation. Like there's so many different prompts you can create, and you're going to want to create your own prompt library, and I'm going to help get you started. So that's certainly the goal. All right, this week's challenge. You're going to start with a vague idea, and you're going to build it out into a more robust idea. You're going to go through an iterative process to make sure that happens. You want to create a bunch of different drafts, and you want to have the AI ask you questions. It will amaze you. Start with, hey, I want to promote our fall event. Here's all the details for our fall event. I really don't know how to promote our fall event. Ask me questions and then make suggestions on what I should do next, and just see what happens. It will knock your socks off. It's going to be amazing. Like you want to talk to it like it's a super smart intern that just doesn't know anything, and take the time to go deep and to create deep prompts for it. It will make a huge, huge impact. So your path to prompt mastery is practice, 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 do more practicing, improve, build better results, see what prompts work for you, and then save those. Like have a text file with all of your prompts. I use Obsidian to save all of my prompts and save them all as text files. It's amazing. It's going to increase your impact. And then share the prompts that work best for you at thegoodcollective.us. We have an AI ahas post channel there. Go there and like this prompt was amazing and it worked so well. And here's why it worked so well. So go there and share. If you're not on thegoodcollective.us, you're missing out on an amazing and growing community, and we want you to be there. And it is, of course, for free, just like Project 900. So that's all I have for this lesson for week 4. Thank you for being here. You're an amazing community that I'm proud to be a part of, and I appreciate you so much.